Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched Wrestlemania 35, broadcast from Metlife Stadium on April 7th, 2019. I'm recording this episode on April 13th, almost a week after the fact, because I fell quite behind on everything. But I'll talk about the matches from what I can remember. I already talked about a lot of the Axxess sessions that I went to throughout the weekend on the NXT TakeOver New York episode. So go check that out if you're interested in hearing a few more stories about all of that stuff. And I think I told the story about the Axe body. It's not Axe, tap out body spray. Why not? So I won't tell you that story. But I did get to see the Worlds Collide Battle Royal matches, both of them, on Sunday morning. And that was really cool, except for I was trying to take some good pictures. I think I got a couple of pretty good ones. And oddly, it was pretty warm. This isn't the odd part. It was a pretty warm day. The studio, the arena part of Axxess was getting pretty toasty in there. And I think this may have been the cause of this, but, when there were about like 4 people left in the battle royal, both battle royals, again, these were like an hour apart. While I was taking pictures, my phone froze. And it took a really long time to get it to reboot and all of that. And it did that a second time during the, I think it was the women's battle royal was first in the first half. And then the men's battle royal was in the second half. So that was not cool of my phone to do that. And that's part of the reason that I ended up finally taking my real camera, to Axxess the next day on Monday. So I wish I had gotten a few pictures of like the winner of the battle royals, and I kind of don't even remember who the winners were. I'll watch them again. I think they are going up, or the battle royals I don't think are going up yet. But a bunch of the Worlds Collide matches are going on there. Like I think it was either Adam Cole or Roger Strong versus Tyler Bate. That was a great match, despite me not remembering which of the Undisputed Era members it was. I think it was Adam Cole. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, that was kind of a bummer that my phone kept freezing. But luckily I didn't lose any of my photo tickets to look up my digital photos with all the people I met on Sunday. And it was fun anyway. It was kind of gross. It was hot. It was too hot. And it would have helped in that instance. Luckily the rest of the week was kind of cold outside, which helped a lot. But when it was not cold outside, it was a detriment to the venue to not be. It was basically just a warehouse there on the pier. There's not like a big AC situation going on in there. I did not see any like actual. I don't think there are any vents like up blowing air anywhere or anything like that. But anyway, because I went to Axxess all day on Saturday, I was very, very tired, and I need to get up really early because it was from 8 to 12. I think I got there maybe like 7:15 or so, on Sunday morning. And when I got back to my hotel, I was like, yeah, I need a little bit of rest. I'm going to get some sleep. It's a long show tonight, like 7 hours. I'm going to need some rest because I also have to get over there. I have to get back and all that. By the time I mustered the energy to stop napping, it was too late to take the subway and the trains and all of that to try to get over there. And honestly, I didn't really want to do that anyway, because of how tired I was, even if I had waken up a little bit earlier. But yeah, so I decided to get a Lyft instead. But Uber looked like it was cheaper. It said it was a cheaper price. But as I would come to learn, that probably was because the Uber price quoted does not include certain things, whereas the Lyft price does. But I can't confirm that because I didn't take a Lyft for that same trip, so I don't have a direct comparison there. But I have a feeling it probably actually would have ended up being cheaper taking Lyft, even though the price on the thing was more when I ordered it. But the bad thing about a lot of bad things happens. I guess they're not really bad things. Boneheaded mistakes on my part happened. And the first of which was, sleeping a little bit too much anyway. But I realized I was like in such a hurry. I ordered it and I was like, oh, I got ready to go outside. And then while I was outside, I was thinking maybe I should have brought more cash with me for food and all that. It's like, nah, he's almost here. I don't have a couple minutes. I'm just going to stay out here and wait. If I had done that, if I had gone back inside to get money, I may have realized much sooner that I did not have my ticket for the show. It was the collector's ticket. So there's no way for me to get in without that physical ticket, that specific piece of material with the barcode on it and all of that. So I did not have that with me, but I got into my Uber and I was talking to the guy about Wrestlemania and all of that. And then like 10 minutes into the ride, I was like, oh, wait, I don't have my ticket. I'm so sorry. We need to go back. And there's surge pricing going on and all of that. I felt pretty bad. I mean, it was going to add to what he makes just from what the app charges me, but is also takes away from what he could be earning in that time that we're losing by going back and then all of that. So, I tried to take care of him a little bit with some extra money on top of the ride itself and what I would normally tip. But it burned up like another like 20 minutes or so. Finally get to the arena and it's I had missed, but I was kind of watching the two matches I missed on my phone. So that's a good thing about the network, having the WWE network, is if you're late, you can still watch the show as you're trying to get to the show as far as the pay-per-views go. But, yeah, I missed the first two matches of the night and that's kind of a bummer, but one of the matches was made up for later in the week. And I'll talk about that on the episode in two more episodes, for SmackDown after Mania, because the 205 Live after Mania, we get a redo of that match, like a more fleshed out version of the match, Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy. And so I get right into the spoilers right now. Tony Nese won and is a new Cruiserweight champion. And then on Tuesday, I get a rematch, and that match was awesome. And I did get to see that one in person. I'll talk about that more in that episode. So I missed that, and I didn't really get to pay much attention because the guy was still talking to me, the driver was still talking to me, and so it was my split attention. But I did get to fully pay attention to the Women's Battle Royal while watching that on my phone. And, I didn't mind at all that Carmella won. I mean, it's just a battle royal. Doesn't seem to be, it's only the second one as far as that trophy and stuff goes. And nothing came of it for Naomi when she won it last year. And so I don't, I see I mean, I was rooting for Asuka to win, but I don't see it as really an issue that she didn't win because nothing will probably come out of winning that anyway. I mean, it's just as likely to get upset about nothing coming out of winning it as there is that if nothing happens now that she didn't win it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I got into the arena and not the arena, it's a stadium. It's a huge stadium. And I didn't realize my ticket was in a section. I was in on the second level, first row. I like that. I very much like that. Although I'm always a little bit nervous, especially in this arena, being in that first row. It's sturdy. It is sturdy. But like anytime I have to get up and like nudge past people, makes me a little bit nervous. I'm like, I don't know. I think I talked about this when I went to see Hoover Dam, that there's like a big walkway overlooking everything. And I was like death grip on my phone and like I didn't want my hat to blow off and all of that, worried my glasses are going to fall off, that kind of thing. I did not ever lean over the thing. There's a big sign like on the thing that says, don't lean over it. Just for safety, don't do that. But it was a great view. I didn't have to stand up for anything at all. Nobody was like standing up in front of me. I occasionally had to stand up for people to get out to go do their thing. But another cool thing is that those sections that are along, looking like between the 35s, I think, is like club level kind of. They're not private boxes or anything like that, but it's an area like the concessions and the restrooms and all of that you can only go into if they have to scan your ticket to go into there. But once you're in, and you don't have to, there's relatively, it's only the people in that section that can go to the concessions, all of that. And I thought that was a pretty good experience as far as being able to go and grab a bottle of water real quick, go and use the restroom real quick, all of that. And even then, there's like a seating area over by the windows to the outside. So you could just hop up onto a bar stool, snack up there. I didn't eat anything down at my seat. I just ate stuff up there. And I thought that was pretty great. Because there are a couple of matches that I watched just from that position. And I enjoyed the matches just pretty much as much as I would before in my regular seat. So I like that. I like that, and I would go for that type of seat again for sure. So let's talk about these matches that I actually saw. We had Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder defeat the Revival. That was a fun moment for them. I was joking, like right after this happened, I joked that WrestleMania 35, the one with all the title changes. And as it would turn out, spoilers, that was way more accurate than I thought would even be possible. We also had the men's battle royal, the Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Braun Strowman won that after eliminating the SNL guys. They came very close to eliminating him. By very close, I mean they tried and failed miserably. I can't even remember I can't remember very many details at all from this battle royal, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right. Then we opened up the actual show with Alexa Bliss snapping her fingers to bring out Hulk Hogan. And then Paul Heyman comes sauntering down the ramp and says, hey, if we're not on last, then we're not going to wait around. So let's get this over with. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins opens the show. Seth Rollins comes out and Brock just attacks him relentlessly before the bell even rings. Finally, the bell rings and Seth gets he pushes Brock into the referee. Referee is knocked out. He's not knocked out. He's not knocked out, but he's knocked off of the apron, like onto the floor, so he's out of action. So it was like he's not unconscious. He's just bewildered or whatever. And in that moment, Seth hits Brock with a low blow, and then curb stomps him like 3 times, pins him, wins the championship. And there we go. We're off to another great start. We already had a great start with the feel good Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder winning, and Seth continues that, becoming the new champion. Then we had AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. The parts of the match that I was paying attention to, I really liked, but a huge swath of fans were just complaining about the chanting and yelling and screaming about the lights. They're down in the lower sections, opposite of the entry. And looking at some of the photos, I get it, but also your camera is kind of misrepresent things as well. That, I don't know. There's, lens flare. That's a lot. That's not how you actually see things or whatever. But they just kept going on about it. Finally, the yellow lights got turned off, but then turned back on again and then turned off. But it was hard to focus on the actual match. I tried as best as I could. There are a few other times. Same thing. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. That same kind of thing as well. Okay, sorry about that. I had a knock at the door, and I'm slightly out of breath. Especially now that I'm talking. Oh my god. Catching my breath. All right. I run downstairs and ran back up. Anyway. Okay, so, yeah, that was just a bummer that was the situation with that match. Because there's some great stuff going on. And, unfortunately, AJ, got injured during this match. But, his update later on, he said nothing was broken or anything like that. I just need some rest. And I think I'll be good to go, pretty soon. So, that's good news. There are a lot of injuries this week. But we'll get to those throughout this episode and the next couple of episodes. So AJ Styles won that match, and I was pretty happy about that. Then we had the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos defeated Aleister Black and Ricochet, Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, and The Bar. And this match was really good. Lots of cool stuff happened there. And I think this was the match during it that I tweeted, like, I think Ricochet is some type of god. Between this and the match the previous night. So this concludes the trilogy of tag team title matches for the team of Aleister Black and Ricochet. Unfortunately, they did not win in any of these matches, but I think that's fine because they're just getting started. They're just getting started, and I'm excited to see what happens next with them. Then we had Shane McMahon defeat The Miz, but only because Shane McMahon ended up on top of The Miz after The Miz superplexed him off of the camera scaffolding into a big area for them to land in. It's like I don't even know. It was like a tarp area. I guess it was technically like part of the stage or something, a platform that they go in there. But Shane, they're both like completely out of it, but Shane was on top of The Miz, and so he got the win because it's a falls count anywhere. And then we had the Iconics defeat the Boston Hug Connection, Nia Jackson, Tamina, and Beth Phoenix and Natalya. And I thought this was an excellent end to this match. The way they won really was a credible win. They were not cheating. They were fully taking advantage of the rules of this type of match. And I'll say it, I keep on saying it. They are an excellent tag team that really knows how to use tag team rules and work together. And they have tag team moves and all of that. Sasha and Bayley are awesome. But they are, they shine the most as individuals. And the Iconics are truly a team. Peyton and Billy are awesome. And I did get to meet them the next day. And they were the first people I got into line for because I got a VIP ticket for AJ Styles. But he was, I talked about this strategy in the last episode. If you have a VIP ticket, don't go to the VIP line first. I've made that mistake before. And now I know better. You can knock out a really great other session, a really great other photo op or whatever before you head into the VIP line, because you're definitely going to get through the VIP line as long as you're there in like the first hour, by the end of the first hour. But like I said, AJ was injured. He was, so because of that, he was unable to appear for Axxess that next day. And so the people running the events, they let us know in groups of like 10, 12 at a time. And like I was in the first group of those people, so that was kind of cool. I got in very, very early. That's why I was like 6th or 7th in line to meet the Iconics. But unfortunately, things got started like kind of late, like very late. I think General Access didn't even get in until like 20, 25 after, instead of right on the hour. But it's because of this AJ Styles situation. But his replacement, they said, okay, you have a replacement, and if that's fine, then awesome. But if you're not cool with that, then you can get a refund, all this. And I was like, well, at that point, I knew who the replacement was. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm totally fine with that. But even if I wasn't, I'd be like, trying to get the refund and all of that is a whole hassle. And it got a third party anyway, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but the replacement is, no, I'll get to that. Because that match is the one that happens next. But the Iconics winning that hidden tag, the sneaky tag, totally within the rules, and they were able to get the win. I forget who they pinned. I think it must have been Bayley or something. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was an excellent end to this match. Unexpected. I was hoping for it, but with who had won the stuff with Seth winning at the top. Even before that, I was like, okay, everybody who I don't want to win is probably going to win, and I'm just fine with that. But as it turned out, pretty much everybody who I wanted to win ended up winning. Spoilers to the rest of this episode, but yeah, Iconics, awesome, and I'll get to talking about them more in the later episodes because we see them on SmackDown celebrating and all of that. So we'll get to it. Next up, we had Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. This match was freaking awesome. Regardless of how the match actually ended, this match was just freaking awesome up to that point anyway, and then it was just made that much sweeter with a Kofi Kingston win, the new WWE champion. There's some New Day and Rowan involvement in the match, but they didn't directly affect the outcome of the match. It was just like a little bit of extra stuff in there, and I thought that was like the exact right amount. And this, yeah, it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the celebration afterwards, Kofi's family comes up into the ring, has his son with the belt and everything. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And so the next day, AJ Styles was supposed to be the VIP at Axxess, his replacement was Kofi Kingston. And I thought, I do not mind that one bit. That is awesome. Hopefully I will still get to meet AJ Styles someday, but I will absolutely meet Kofi Kingston and get my picture with him. That is cool. Super cool. He was super nice. I told him that the match was awesome and that I was at Elimination Chamber, and that match was great as well. And he was super nice, and it was cool, real cool. Then we had Samoa Joe defeat Rey Mysterio in 1 minute. So yeah, that happened. So at this point, Samoa Joe and the Usos are the only champions to retain their championships on this night. Then we had Roman Reigns defeat Drew McIntyre in a singles match. No special stipulations or anything like that. It looks like it clocked in at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. It felt a lot longer than that because the crowd was being kind of dumb, I thought. Kind of a dumb crowd during that match. It's like, man, anything that had to follow Rey Mysterio getting beaten in a minute. No, following that, and then that also following like arguably the best moment of the night, the best and the best match of the night. Everything after is doomed. Then we had Triple H versus Batista. Triple H won, so he is not being forced to retire, and he had a little bit of help from Ric Flair. It was no holds barred match, so there's all kinds of like chains and sledgehammers and all that kind of stuff involved. But Batista later on Twitter announced that he is retired, and so that was Batista's final match. They had he came out like an SUV, like a motorcade, and then Triple H came out to a digital motorcade of Mad Max imagery. It's Mad Max style vehicles, and I guess that part was kind of cool. But that match was, holy crap, that match was long. That's the longest match of the night. Wow. That's that's interesting. And that makes sense. It did feel like it was really, really long. This was like 3 hours into the show now, 3.5 hours into the show. The second longest match was Kofi versus Daniel at 23 minutes and 45 seconds. This one was at 24 minutes and 45 seconds. Just 1 minute difference. Interesting. These times they rounded to the nearest fives. I was about to say, why aren't there any that are like 6 minutes and 3 seconds or anything like that? Anyway, then we had Baron Corbin defeat Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's farewell match. So kind of a bummer that Angle didn't win his final match, but I thought it was kind of appropriate. I've said this before. The end of days being the final move to end Kurt Angle's days. That's kind of appropriate. But yeah, it was all right. It was all right. I don't remember specifics from it other than the end. Then we had Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. Finn Balor as Demon Balor wins the match in just 4 minutes and 5 seconds and regains the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, go Balor. And then our main event, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Winner takes all, triple threat for the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. And this was I loved this match as well. There's some kind of desperation in Ronda's moves at some points. I'd call it that more so than I guess you could describe some of it as some sloppiness or stuff like that, but I kind of felt like it added some some more realism to it. Like you're so flustered at some points that the adrenaline is just pumping through your veins a little bit too much, and you're about to maybe lose your balance a little bit here and there, all that. But I don't even remember specific instances where that kind of thing happened. Like the ending, it was kind of out of nowhere. But I thought that also added a little bit more to the like anything could happen in this triple threat, with, things just coming out of nowhere, left and right. So I didn't mind. So I was very, very happy for Becky. Becky 2 belts. She is she's the reigning champion for both brands, and so she'll be on both shows until that changes. And I think that's pretty cool. What were some specifics from this match? There's the table. Charlotte got put through a table right before the end. Dang, I can't remember other stuff. I really liked that Becky and Charlotte worked together against Ronda at a few points. They're like, hey, we just got to get this little weirdo out of the picture here. We may as well work together every now and then. But yeah, I thought the pace was ramped up all the way through. And I was just like glued. My eyes were glued onto the ring, just watching this whole match unfold. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm very happy for Becky, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Because, well, we'll talk about it in the Raw episode. That there were some. It seems like things are going in one direction, but then it's like nope. We got all new champions, like all of the good victories that you'd hoped would happen, except for Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. That could be argued that a lot of people would have loved to see Rey Mysterio win that championship. And same with the Usos. One of those other teams might have been a cool change to see them become champions. But all the other title changes that I feel like we're kind of, yeah, that's what we wanted to see happen. We wanted all of the good guys to win because all the good guys did win. Arguably, the Iconics are not good guys, but I felt like everybody's still really happy for them to win the women's tag team titles. But what was I saying? Oh, we'll see when we talk about Raw and SmackDown. It's I think, here's the chance to like undo some of those things. It's like, we just did it so you'd be happy at WrestleMania. We're just gonna go in a different direction now. Don't be happy about it, but forget about it also. And it is actually not the case. They stuck to their guns with like all of this stuff. At least so far. And we have the Superstar Shakeup coming up as well, but I'll talk about all of that in the Raw and SmackDown After Mania episodes. So yeah, after the show, it was kind of ridiculous getting back to my hotel because they had the trains going. And I guess even if I had tried to do an Uber or Lyft, that the queues for that were insane as well. So I think I made the right call, especially with how much the Uber going out there cost. I was like, I gotta offset that a little bit. So getting back only cost me $6 plus the Metro card that I had paid for the week. Compared to the insane amount, it's like $200. Oh my God. $200 for one ride. I don't know, but I needed to start working into my budgets. I had planned to buy more stuff than what I did, So like I didn't really mind that. Like it wasn't built into it, but it ended up being available in what I had planned to spend for the week. But from now on, WrestleMania weekend, I need to factor in something's going to go wrong. As I've talked about this from last year, that I dropped my ticket somewhere. I had to buy another ticket because there's a collector's ticket. You don't have duplicates or anything like that. So I just need to work in like $200 to $300, that's only there. That is the emergency fund, emergency fund, I think, because it was like an actual there's like actual emergency funds. That's something different, but it seems as though $200 to $300 extra at the account for that's something that I don't foresee just getting to the actual show or back or whatever, getting into the show. I gotta work that into the paperwork. I think next year, unless I do the travel package, which they do the physical tickets for, I'm gonna go all digital next year. So I don't even have to worry about it. But in that case, I'm probably gonna lose my phone. Probably. And that would really suck. I'm jinxing myself right now. But the train, we had to take a train from Meadowlands, where MetLife is, to Secaucus, and then Secaucus to go to a different train to Penn Station, and then from Penn Station you could then go, do whatever you want to do, go find the subway and all of that. So it went all right. I got onto the second train. There was a train that was there that left, and then I got onto the next train after that. And I was talking to the guys that are sitting next to me a little bit. That was really cool. Nice to meet them. I met so many nice other fans, and some not so nice, but mostly nice other fans. Talked about all kinds of stuff. Not a single one of them did I exchange names or contact information with at all. So perhaps I'll run into them someday. I'll be like, hey, I think I remember you, but I don't know your name or anything like that. So I think next time around, that's when I'll start actually asking names and things like that. It's a process, I think. But yeah, get to the Secaucus station, and it starts raining, and we go down to the train that's going to go. The next train will be coming in to go to Penn Station, and just waiting there by the platform. There's just hundreds and hundreds of people here, and the train comes in, and we're waiting for it to stop, and then the last car passes us and stops like 20 feet further down, and everybody from where it stops over is like, oh god, we thought we were in great position. So you had walked down a ways from where you like go down the escalator to the thing. Like, I thought we were going to be in a good position to get onto this train. Nope. There's the mad rush trying to get over to the other cars. So I ended up just waiting for the second train. And it was an interesting thing, because they changed up which trains were doing what, and they were getting held up because one of the doors on the train, that the car that I was standing next to, they're like, oh, it says that it's not closed, but they kept checking all four of the doors. It was kind of a weird situation, but I did get on a train. Finally got over to Penn Station. Had to walk like a block to get over to the subway, to get on my way back over to Brooklyn. On the weekends, the stop that's right next to my hotel does not. The trains don't stop there. So I had to walk. It was raining. I had to walk like a half mile or whatever in the rain on the final leg of my journey to get back to the hotel. And once I finally got there, it was 4 a.m. one hell of a long night because I left at I think I left at like 5 p.m. to get to the show. Or like 4:45, something like that. And missed the first hour from 5 to 6. But so it was a solid, 11 hours to get there and back with missing part of the show. And most of that time was most of that added time was after the show getting back, because it ended at like 12:15, something like that. So it was like 4 hours to get back. Oh, not fun to think about. So hopefully I'm planning on going next year in Tampa. I booked a hotel, but there are closer hotels that are closer to the arena and the convention center that I would prefer. Now that I think about it, I'd prefer to stay in one of those hotels, but they don't book that far in advance. So I have to remember to keep checking that like every couple of weeks to see how far out they're booking everything. So hopefully that'll be a little bit better experience going out there, especially if I have a car, but maybe not. I don't know. That's still a year away. But I'm excited to go again next time. Like a lot of things, if I do it this much, I'll get like sick of it. And I think that's a big signal that it's just reinforced more and more the more shows I go to and the more that I watch, that I freaking love wrestling, and it's so much fun. And if I do end up getting sick of it at some point, I don't know what would cause that, because it's so much fun. Even when people are like getting angry about certain things and all of that, I still find something to really enjoy about it. And I think maybe more people should try that and see what to enjoy in the stuff that's going horribly wrong. As far as like, I don't like this storyline, or they're taking these, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I'm excited for WrestleMania next year. In just a couple of weeks, I'm going taking a road trip over to Iowa and Nebraska, because they have Raw and SmackDown. I think I've talked about this on the show before. Raw, SmackDown on Monday, Tuesday, and then on Thursday and Friday, and also Saturday, Sunday. I'm not doing Saturday, Sunday because they're in Michigan and Minnesota. So it's Raw in Iowa, SmackDown in Nebraska. Wednesday, there's no WWE show. So I'm going to go to the zoo and to a Cirque du Soleil show in Omaha. And then the next night is NXT Omaha. And then Friday night is NXT in Iowa. I don't think am I going to that? No, I don't think I'm going to that one. But I am going to NXT in Nebraska, because then I don't have to backtrack again. But that might change. I don't know. So I'm really excited for that, because I love the NXT live events. I've only been to a couple so far, and this is the closest they're coming to Denver yet, I think. Well, they've come to Nebraska before, but I didn't go when they did before. So that's in just 2 weeks, and I'm pretty excited for that. It's the week. It's the day after Easter is that Raw. But after that, the next show that I probably, I might go to Extreme Rules in July. But the next show that I'm planning on right now is SummerSlam. So I might get kind of sad between then and now, and do some impromptu trips out to see Raw and stuff. They haven't announced all their schedules, so I might end up in close to the same place as they are anyway. a couple of times going to conventions, and that would be really, really cool if that is the case. But anyway, that's it for WrestleMania 35. I'll be talking about Raw after Mania and SmackDown after Mania in the next episode. So next 2 episodes. So stay tuned for that. And then of course NXT and NXT UK this week. I saw the matches for NXT this week, taped before Takeover. But I'm sure there's all kinds of backstage stuff that's on that episode that will be worth talking about. And I don't know what's going on in NXT UK in the next episode, but I was present for a lot of the 3 episodes following, or more. It might be more than 3 episodes. But I do know it's Ginny versus Tony Storm in this week's NXT UK. So I'm excited to see that match. Let me know what you thought about WrestleMania. What was your favorite match? I think I made this clear. My favorite match was Kofi versus Daniel. But let me know what your favorite match is, what you're excited to see happen, and what about this superstar shakeup? What's going to go on there? So we'll find out very soon. So tweet me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'll be back real soon with more here on TIW Podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.